Ember, 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 we're gonna light up the fire.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ember Sessions, where we have new friends, new songs, and definitely new stories to tell. So we're going to introduce the whole gang here today, and hello everyone. Maybe we can all introduce ourselves again.
Hello, I'm Pris.
I'm Krysta.
I'm Jiahao.
Yep, and we're here sitting together to share a whole bunch of new songs. So glad to have Krysta on board today.
So glad to be here.
Yeah,
Thank
tell
you
us
so
a little
much.
bit. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm a singer-songwriter here.
Yeah.
That's what everyone says, right? But yeah, I write music that is God-centric and God-centered, but just more for like the general audience. So yeah, I've been making music for as long as I can remember. But of course, my preferred weapon is the guitar. So yeah, I'm glad to have this with me here, and really, really thankful for the opportunity to just share a little bit about the songs that I write and why I write them. Yeah.
Nice. It's very interesting. So I have a very interesting story, right? So how we got Krysta on board. Okay, so it was this one day, right? We were just thinking of like who we want to call on board, right? Yeah, and I remembered, I vaguely remember if it was a dream or what, but I had your name, right? Krysta Joy, right? And
In your dream.
no, like when I came out from
So
a
you're
dream.
like dreaming of.
Like, no, I wasn't dreaming.
She's creeped out, man.
Oh, okay.
Where's the exit?
It was like waking up from a dream, I think, and then there was like a name or something like that. Okay, your name came out somewhere. I vaguely remember where your name came out from.
Yes.
And then I spoke to my girlfriend, who is your cell leader.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, does Krysta Joy is Krysta Joy interested in like, maybe doing some new songs, is she releasing any new stuff? And she told me about the song Wait, which we went to check it out.
My
And
first single.
I love that song. I love that song
you so
so much.
much.
Yeah.
I sing this because like there's cameras.
There's cameras
or-
here.
You
No,
can tell me what you feel afterwards.
after this, right?
Okay, cut cameras.
No, I truly resonate with it.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
truly resonate with it. Yeah, it's like, what do I do with all this like things that I have? Do I have to be in a rush to produce stuff and to create stuff, as a creative, right?
Yeah.
So I was listening to it, and that was the first time I heard it. I saw the live. I think you have a live performance of it and stuff. Yeah. And then after I went back home, my girlfriend went back home. I put on Spotify and I did it on shuffle, right? And somehow the next song was Wait.
Nice.
Krysta Joy. I was like, hey, this is familiar. I think I just heard this song. And then I looked at it, I was like, Krysta Joy. Then, oh, you're on Spotify. And I was like, I felt there was a confirmation.
Yeah. So first you had a dream of me,
After
and then you heard of the song, and then it appeared on Spotify.
It's God sent, eh?
Yeah.
You're stalking her.
I hope your girlfriend knows.
She's not here.
So the confirmation is don't wait. Call
Don't
her.
wait. Yes.
Okay.
Don't wait.
Don't wait.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
If you wait, she wouldn't be here.
She would. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
but it's don't wait.
Don't
Okay.
wait.
Don't wait.
Yeah. I'm so glad to have you.
you so much.
And it turns out that you also have some connection. You kind of saw each other, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And Singapore is so small.
No, I just see her like on online,
Right.
like leading worship and
Yeah.
stuff. I think we're all gonna get a treat later just watching her play. So
Definitely.
watch out.
I love
Watch
it.
out, yes.
Yeah. So maybe I'll share a song.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
So this song, I actually just found it yesterday. Because I was wondering what song do I play today, and then I was like scrolling through my voice memos, right? Then I found this song, and I remembered writing this song in Perth. I was doing a Bible college there,
Yes.
and it was called Who Am I? And I think for me it was when I was in Bible college, I was like understanding like my identity as a child of God, For many years, when I was away from church, away from God, didn't have a concept of God, even though I come from like a Christian family, I just always thought it was a concept, wasn't a person that I can relate to, a being that I could relate to, right? And then when I started to understand the identity, I had this sense of rest. It was like the relationship between a father and a son, right? And when we call someone father, you immediately acknowledge a single relationship, which is a father and a son, right? And I think to me that was it felt very real to me. That I don't need to be in survival mode anymore, because to be in survival mode means you need to find your way, your solutions to everything. And I think it gets very tiring, you know. But when I got to experience that rest in the Father, it was like, you know, I mean, I was in Perth and it was like every day I just felt His presence. Like, really, I had nothing. I mean, I left my family, right? I mean, He sent me there. God sent me there. Someone sponsored me to go to Perth and to study. And so my family was not there. My dog wasn't there. So I stayed with my uncle and auntie, which I got closer with when I was staying there. And I told them, like, use me as much as you can, okay? So, like, I was cleaning their house. I was doing the dishes. Like I really wanted to make myself useful. Like, I'm not here for play. I'm here to serve everyone I meet, you know. And I remembered very specifically my aunt's church. She serves in a church called Eagle City Mission in Perth, and they are a church that serves the homeless. So for 6 days, right, the homeless are out begging for food, right? But on Sunday when they come to church, they will be served.
Wow.
And it's crazy. Like, we cook for them like the best food like we can think of that we will eat. Like, we would serve our own family, and we serve them. Like after service lah. And I remembered I went into service, right, for I think the first and second day lah, okay, the weeks, and I went there and I remembered I had a bit of a prejudice, a little bit, like, because the smell was there were fights going on, you know, they had to send some people out, you know, I had all these prejudices, you know, and I don't know why I had that, you know. I think it was just in my mind. I never been in a room full of homeless people, right? And they seem rough, and they're always staring at you and stuff, right? And then after that, I remember I was at worship, right? I was worship. And okay, my background is that, I used to take drugs, right? I used to dabble in all this. I used to have a crappy life, you know. What's the difference, you know? But I had this prejudice after coming back, you know. And I was in church, I remember, and we were in the service, and, you know, the preacher was up there, and they were worshiping, right? And I saw this guy, you know. I remember he's one of the more notorious guy in church, and he was right in front, and he was dancing, you know, when we were worshiping, dancing, bowing down, you know, doing all sorts of like you would probably think he's drunk, right? You know, but he's worshiping, you know. And at first I was like about to judge him, right? And then suddenly I felt this feeling, you know, like God was saying, like, what's the difference between this guy and the little girl you see in church dancing, waving the flags and stuff, running around? What's the difference? And then it clicked lah. He showed me that in my presence, all of you are children. All of you are children. And this is, my presence is here. And suddenly everything clicked, you know. It's like Jesus is here. He is here because we are serving the poor, the needy. We are worshiping together. It doesn't matter what situation you're from. You had white-collar workers, you have homeless people. We are all there worshiping together and fellowshipping together in Christ. So you're all children, no one judged. And so that guy, like, I remember on the last day before the last service I attended, right, I dropped my wallet. I didn't know, you know, I dropped my wallet, right? And I was just eating. It was for like a good period of time. And then suddenly someone tapped my shoulder. It's like, hey bro, have this. Then I was like, oh, that's my wallet. then he like winked at me and he walked off. And I was like, whoa, like, I mean, like, I felt so like humbled, you know, even though like I had the revelation. Like, I mean, I went to talk to him and everything. We had a conversation, but like, I think for someone like him who had nothing, who saw my wallet, and I had like quite a bit of money inside because it was my last day. I'm going to spend on like buying stuff for people home. Yeah, he just gave me the wallet back. I mean, he could have taken it away, and I just said I lost it, and so I just felt very touched lah. And during that whole period, I was writing this song. One of the songs that I wrote from that season lah. Yeah, so it's about who am I, and realize that we are all children in the presence of God.
Amen.
Yeah.
So good.
God, when I fall for nothing at all, yet you showed me your ways. Can I sit here and wait? Oh, I've made my excuses for all of my flaws, yet you told me to stay. And your loving stills when I cry out your name. I'll cry out your name. Yeah. Now that I'm home in your presence, I'll sing. You saved me, you set me free. For reasons I know now, it's never too late. You know me, you've called me. Now that I'm home in your presence, I'll sing. You saved me, you set me free. For reasons I know now, it's never too late. 'Cause you know me, you've called me. Yeah. Oh, you called me. Oh, but who am I that you turn this night into light? Oh, but who am I that the storm stills when I cry out your name? I'll cry out your name.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
You just found this yesterday.
Yes, and I was practicing yesterday and this morning.
He just found it,
Just found it.
Like something that you lost, you just found
Kind of
it.
like how his wallet just fell out.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
It's
here you go.
like, okay. Yeah.
I was like, wink, here you go.
Here you
have
go.
it.
Yeah. Yep, so that is my song. Yeah.
Nice.
Please,
Please?
be kind.
Yeah, no, actually, I think for my song as well, it's kind of the same story. So when I wrote this song, I had left my corporate job to go into full-time music. And I think 3 months later, COVID hit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice timing.
Yeah, so, and then all my gigs were cancelled. All my bookings were gone. Basically, the whole calendar of 2020 was just shifted to 2021. And then I remember I was at home doing nothing because I had nothing to do. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing in my life? Like, God, you asked me to go into full-time music. And then this happened, right? And then so I was on social media. Then I was looking at all my friends, my musician friends. Like, oh my God, this one got gig. Oh yeah, this one doing recording, I don't know what. Like, doing a lot of things with their life.
I'm having PTSD just from
Right,
Stop
yeah.
foaming.
I know. So I was like, wow, kept comparing myself
Yep.
to everyone else. And I thought, I was a bit angry with God. Like, how come you asked me to do this? And I took such a big leap of faith, and then it just wasn't what I pictured, you know? And my idea of going into full-time music was just getting gigs, just being able to sing. And none of that happened. Yeah. So I think I was listening to a sermon called It's Not What I Pictured. And it was like so pointed at me, like it was so on point. He said that basically, where did you get your picture from? You know, like you expect that this is what it's going to be, but did God give you that picture? So at that moment, I felt like, wow, oh my goodness, I need to go and write a song.
Yeah.
Because I felt like, oh my gosh, like this is what I expected. This is what I imagined. But did I really think that God is that uncreative, you know? Like our God is so creative and He has so many different ideas. He has such a great plan for us, which we can never ever fathom. We can't even imagine what He has in plan for us. So yeah, this song came out from there. And I just wanted to say that for those of you who are also on social media all the time, you know, you feel like, this person, like, what, this influencer, lah, so pretty, lah, whatever, you know? Like, we are always so used to posting highlights, right? And I found that when I started actually posting about lowlights, like the struggles of my life, things that had happened to me, but there were God encounters from there, like actually people resonated with what I said. And if everybody could do the same as well, just paint a real picture of your life. Like, don't always have to be like, oh yeah, I'm here, I'm there. But really, like, I'm struggling, if any of you are struggling out there, like, just drop me a DM and we can talk lah. And that's really what happened last year during COVID. I felt like when I shared my struggles and then I sang songs that came out from those struggles, like it brought comfort to people the way it brought comfort to me. Yeah, so let's just do that and be real. Yeah. So this is my song called Picture Perfect Frame. Oh, picture perfect frame. That's how our lives look every day. Oh, how I thought the same. It's time to switch off, why don't you? It's stealing all our time, watching as others live their lives. It's not what I pictured, but I see the good. Other doors have opened, I'm walking through. 'Cause sometimes we don't see what we should, and some days won't be that good. But if you stop and look, there's a greater plan for you. Oh, picture perfect frame. That's how our lives look every day. Oh, how I thought the same. It's time to switch off, why don't you? It's stealing all our time, watching as others live their lives. Oh, it's not what I pictured, but I see the good. Other doors have opened, I'm walking through. 'Cause sometimes we don't see what we should, and some days won't be that good. But if you stop and look, there's a greater plan for you. A greater plan for you. Your voice and your heart, your life so precious, your tears and your pain and your struggles, a part of the greater plan, a part of the greater plan. Sometimes we don't see what we should, and some days won't be that good. But if you stop and look, there's a greater plan for you. A greater plan for you.
So good, so good. Wow.
Wow.
I don't know, like when I'm hearing your song, and you're talking about like social media, I feel like it's such a thing for our generation.
Yeah.
And as you're playing, right, I'm just looking at the map behind you, right? It's so worldwide, you know. So worldwide, you know. Like, and social media.
So whirly.
It's a joke. You know, you spell worldwide is WERWIDE. Oh, my boyfriend's so worldwide.
Wow. I am too old.
Does Audrey say that?
Yeah, we say that all the time.
Really?
But yeah, I mean, I was just thinking, like, you know, social media connects the whole world together, you know, and at the same time, it's like, because of that connection, there's such a crazy need for comparison. And it's like, who's better in life? And it's so subtle, you know, it's like, oh, you just see, yeah, it's good, I feel happy for you, it's good and everything. But when it creeps in to say, hey, why am I not like that? Wow, then it becomes like a challenge, right? It becomes a battle.
I think we just have to have the mindset that you know that people are just posting about highlights, you know, and you're not seeing the full picture. Like, I think there was an influencer that I saw, so she's also trying to be very real, and she posted like, oh yeah, you know, she was invited to this like amazing staycation, like everything paid for and all that stuff. But at the end of the post, when they got home, she posted a photo of like all the laundry that she had to do for the entire family. So she was like, just in case you guys are like thinking this influencer life is great, you know, like it's also like very real, you know. So things like that I feel that we need to be real about, and we shouldn't be afraid to be real about. It gets very dangerous when you start comparing how many number of likes, followers. Like, it's just a very numbers-driven game, which can be very scary. A deep, dark hole that we don't ever want to go into.
Yeah.
I just find like so much like connection between like low lights and being childlike. And the reason why is that, you know, as you grow older, like after you've gone through like perhaps like traumatic incidents in life, like people said something while you tried to do something good and you felt hurt, or people said like you are a failure or not good enough. Like, we grew up with a like defensive mindset that we find it very hard to show our low lights because we have been bruised when we did, right? And just like even your song, like talking about childlike, I mean, I have 4 kids, right? And they are just so free to be whatever, you know. They can like be like talking really loud, they can be doing weird stuff, you know. And there's no like inhibition, there's no fear, because like in their world, right, is that like, you know, I'm just free to do what I want to do. Yeah, and there's no fear. And when I think of like God telling us that perfect love drives out all fear, in other words, perfect love is big enough to hold in even our low lights, like even our brokenness, the stuff that people think, you know, is too messy. How you go to church like that, you know, or whatever. You know, well, how come you like that? How come you like this? How come you are not doing something significant at your age, whatever? The Lord's love is so big that He takes all these things in, right? And because He does that, like, we can be childlike and unafraid. And as I grow older, I mean, because I guess I'm the oldest, you know, like I still feel like what you said, you know, the comparison, like, am I good enough? Do I have enough successes in my life and all that? But whenever I come into God's presence, I realize that His love is always like causing me to decrease in age. You know, like, don't be so old lah. When you are very old, right, people got a lot of expectations of you. Like, you 40, how come you're not doing this? But then when the Lord's love comes, right, and we just become like 5 years old in His eyes, you know, for example, and all that we need to be, right, is the truest representation of who we are. And it's beautiful enough. Yeah.
Appa!
Papa, 我来了.
Hey, but I must say though, like, I totally resonate with what you just said. Like, this is something I recently learned about how a father's love is like. It brings 2 things. One, security, like what you said, and significance, just as what you said, you know? It's like when a father sees a son, like when he calls his son, he brings an identity. It's like, you are from me, right? And then when the father says, you are with me and from me, there's also a sense of security. And like that kind of restedness is so beautiful, you know? Yeah, and I love what you just said. All right, so Krysta, we heard that you have just released an album.
Yes.
Exciting.
So this album is titled Embrace the Progress. And it's actually like a sort of a link to the first EP I released that's titled Enjoy the Process. So this one just dives a little bit deeper into certain themes that I highlighted in the previous EP. So yeah, this, for me, I just wanted to focus on celebrating small wins and talking about how every step forward, whether big or small, is still a step forward. And I think that's a lesson that we can never completely, fully learn, because there will always be, ups and downs. And sometimes we believe it, sometimes we don't. A lot of times we don't. But yeah, so for me, it's definitely something that I'm still learning. And I think it's so important to give yourself credit and, of course, praise to God for every step and every win and even the losses that you learn from. So yeah, the song that I'm going to share is actually the focus track of the album. This one's titled Learn. And learn is just basically about learning. But yeah, so I wrote it when I was actually feeling very down as well last year. And it's actually very linked to what Pris was sharing, the whole social media thing. And, all the gigs are cancelled and it's my only source of income. And I actually just graduated last year as well. So, you graduate, you want to get a job. I applied for over 50 jobs actually. Wow. And I didn't get like a single one. So yeah, I was at home too. I was really bored. I was just, social media is the only thing we can kind of use to entertain ourselves. I'm like, what? Like this guy, like, I sing better than this guy. Why am I not getting the gig? Like, what the heck? Like, I have better hair. Like, like, so all these thoughts, all this negativity, and also like, I have to admit, that my relationship with God, especially at the start and circuit breaker, it was shaky just because I did not have the faith to believe that, I'm going to get out of this season okay. Yeah, so it was very humbling as well, and a reminder that, I am not where I want to be yet. And I think that's when I started to put myself down a lot, because I was like, man, I'm a failure. Like, like God has saved me so many times. Why can't I trust him anymore? And blah, blah, blah. And that's actually where this whole, this whole concept of actually celebrating the small wins, because then I realized that I'm not back at square one. It may seem like, I'm back to the person I was, I'm back into my sinful nature and everything, but I'm not. I'm moving forward. I'm going through new doors that may look similar, but they're actually deeper and further than I've ever been before. And every step is still, a step forward. So, yeah, so that's actually the overall kind of inspiration for the whole album and for this song in particular. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy.
All right. All right.
All right. I also just learned this song. Here we go.
I could choose to stay down. It's easier to wallow in myself. I could choose to hug the ground. It's simpler to give up than accept help. And I am slowly disappearing, and it sucks. I am lonely, it's frustrating. I'm out of luck. Falling apart. I'm crushing under weights that are not mine. I'm falling with the bridges over time, the ones I should have burned. I think it's time to learn. I could choose to lay around. Every part of me is feeling weak. I refuse to be a clown, but it feels like, again, the joke's on me. 'Cause I am slowly disappearing, and it sucks. Oh, I am lonely, it's frustrating. I'm out of luck. Falling apart. I'm crushing under weights that are not mine. I'm falling with the bridges over time, the ones I should have burned. I think it's time to learn. Oh, 'cause a heart can only take so much. A heart can only break so much, forsake so much. till nothing's left at all. A heart can only take so much, a heart can only break so much, forsake so much, till nothing's left at all. 'Cause a heart can only take so much, a heart can only break so much, forsake so much, till nothing's left at all. A heart can only break so much, a heart can only take so much, forsake so much. And now I think it's time to learn.
What? What?
We've just been schooled.
Oh
Man,
my!
don't say that.
I need to hear your whole album now, eh?
So
Wait,
good.
sorry, I
Oh
just got
my.
that. We just been
Oh my
schooled.
Yeah, we just.
Whoa, that delayed reaction. That's a good one.
Wait, I just got that too.
I was like, oh, I thought you were just trying to say like I'm like better now.
better.
I was like, no. I was like, oh, learn.
Hello.
I just made it not funny. All right.
Wow, but that was wow.
Oh my!
so
So
much.
good. I love that.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
One more song.
But thank you so much. Yeah. So that was learn. Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wait, how did this whole like what's your like I can't put a vibe to it, but it's a vibe. You are a vibe.
Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
much. That's a good thing.
You
That's
are a
good thing.
vibe.
You are a vibe.
I am a good
yes,
vibe.
a good vibe.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because I could be a bad vibe.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. What?
I mean,
Yeah. Like you're just kind of asking like.
yeah, like what would you say like a genre that you or
Oh,
maybe
wow,
like
okay.
like musicians that you are into? Like where do you get your influences from?
Right.
Like,
So,
yeah.
so this is where it's a little bit of a gray area for me because the first EP was more of like a soul R&B sort of a thing, which I love. And so this new album that when you hear it, you'll be a bit confused because you'll be like, "What is this?" Because I do not have actually a genre for the song. It sounds nothing like this, by the way. What's on the album?
Wow.
Yeah. So there isn't like a particular style that I can actually put this whole album in a box in and. Yeah, so I didn't really think too much about influences or people. We just wanted to take the message that we're sharing and then find different sounds that can carry this message. Because to me, I feel like message is always the most important part of my music. So I think because I studied music as well, so a lot of the time in the process, right, I kept thinking like, maybe it would sound better with this and that and this and that in a very like musical knowledge kind of theoretical kind of stance until I realized that, hey, music does not have to fit in a box. I don't have to fit in a box,
Right.
I can't fit into most things if I'm being honest after all my circuit breaker weight. But so I don't really put a label on it, but
Right.
I guess a vibe is so
A
weird to
vibe
say.
is good.
Yeah.
I feel like what you were saying, like you're carrying a message, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, if let's say, this is going to be a big question, right?
Okay.
But if let's say we took all the things and we put it aside, right? And we ask like, who is Krysta Joy? Right.
Wow.
It's a big question. It's a big
Spirals
question.
into existential
if-
crisis.
If we took everything, right, and we funnel it down into a line, who is Krysta Joy?
It's like I kind of feel like I gotta call my mom and get the answer. Just kidding. Oh wow, I feel like mom, I need to get a lifeline. No, I just feel like who I am. I am a nobody. If I'm being very honest, I am a nobody in the eyes of of people and the world. And whatever title they can give me is everyone's gonna have something to say, but at the center of everything, I know it sounds like a very like textbook answer, but I am just a child, just like what you were saying. I am a child of God who has been loved, who has been given multiple chances to do better and to love better and to be better. And I think all I want to do with my music is just to share, how I have succeeded, how I have failed. I think that's very important, like what Pris was saying, just being very honest about it. And how through it all, the only constant thing in my life has been God and will always be God. And I think that's just what I want to put across to tell others that whatever you're going through, no judgment here. We are literally all the same, and we all need the same thing. And I think that's what I want to do with my music, to tell people that, we're the same, we need the same thing. The same thing is available to everyone. So let's just go for it.
Come on.
Oh, wow.
Fire!
Everyone just gets slayed.
Well, What is the most fulfilling part for you, like releasing and producing your music?
Most fulfilling. I love when people ask about the songs, and not just that, but they share what it made them feel, and they share about their lives. I think that's the most important thing. So like even with the previous EP, my favorite part was never getting on stage and singing. I think it's okay. But the best part is like after a gig, if someone DMs me and they're like, hey, you know, I'm going through this now, and your song made me feel this. Or like, the best would be if they'd be like, who's this song about? Then I can be like, so there's this big man. And then I can kind of just, go into
man.
it and introduce,
Wow.
So it's always the lives, I feel. It's always the stories. And
It's like you're also using your platform, your social media platform, where people reach out to you, then that's crazy. That's like missions level thinking going on. Yeah.
I try.
Right.
I think if there's something that I feel, like when you sing, is that I feel a lot of life coming out from you. And I mean, beyond the musical, it's something that resonates like in your heart, and it feels as though like God has like really done what He has done in whatever that you're singing, the process of learning, the wins, and how He's brought you back. And when you just sing, I just feel like, wow, man, it's like a rushing river, like and people like, when the river comes, you can't just like whatever, it just hits you. So really feel like, wow, man, there's something, the vibe. It's a rushing
It's a
river of
beautiful
life
vibe.
vibe.
It's a beautiful vibe.
Thank you.
And it's got quite a breaker, just break through defenses, break through like things that we feel like have held us down for very long, and like the moment you release it, it's almost like, okay, there's something that's possible, that's beyond what I have experienced. Yeah, man, so good. I think just kind of like witnessing like all the stories, like joining up as one, And it's so strange because I don't think we've planned this. It just feels like so much of like God's love, like over our lives and our journeys. You can come to Him with that full safety of being a child. You can come with your messes, your lowlights. You can come knowing that it is the journey that actually makes you who you are more than have you attained it. Because you were saying, right? You look back at who you are and you feel like you're not at the same place anymore. You have actually moved, And that journey is actually the destination itself. It's like what we are going for, So I'll be doing a song called Victory Song, and it's probably the most like worship sounding song amongst all the songs. Sorry, that was a nervous laughter.
Yes.
Chris was like,
We recognize that.
Chris was like, that's a nervous laughter. Yeah, but as you were talking about celebrating small victories, it just kind of like rung through in my heart in the sense, like we can have those small victories because there is a God who won a very big victory. And I love that story of like how Jesus really came for us and took like our messes, our broken history, our junk, everything, right? And went onto that cross and said, I'll take it all for you so that in my victory, you can have yours. And I mean, this song, there's so much things in my own life, walking through darkness, battling with fears, journeying through insecurity, pain, and I've come to a point to realize that victory can never be declared without the context of brokenness. You can never just come in, into a room and say, not saying never, but God is good all the time. It's
All the time?
Like God is good.
God is
Like
good.
in a very plastic way. As much as it sounds right, but victory is always in the context of opposition. If you don't have a war, there is nothing to shout about. So like I've come to realize that every like wounding and bruise or struggle in our lives, it becomes the context for us to experience something at the end, right? that could have only been done because God was with us. Yeah. So this is that song called Victory Song. You are my God, you rule the raging oceans. Just with one word, you silenced all my fears. Strong is your love, you pulled me out of darkness. Here in your light, I'll sing my victory song. Christ, my all in all. Christ alone, my firm foundation, rock on which I stand. You are hope that never fails me. Kings come and go, kingdoms rise and fall, but you remain seated on your throne. Nations will bow in your day of power, and in all the earth we'll sing our victory song. Mighty God, you live. The grave cannot withhold your splendor. At your feet we bow. Risen King, you reign forever. We will praise your name. We declare your fame. Our song will never fade for all our days. Every tribe and tongue glorifies the one God who made a way, Lamb who was slain. Mighty God, you live. The grave cannot withhold your splendor. At your feet we bow. Risen King, you reign forever. You are my God, you rule the raging oceans. Just with one word, you silenced all my fears.
Wow. Crazy.
That was so
Whew.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like we just had a whole church service.
Yeah, right.
It's like the
The
closing
closing
song.
This is the closing song.
Everyone's at the altar.
The church song came in at the end.
So good.
Oh my. Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, it really does encapsulate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does, right?
All the,
before.
yeah.
Yeah.
Insane. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just felt that it was like a storyline that just went through all the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh man.
You know, when you were playing, right, I just saw this image, right, of you as a knight. Like you had the armor, you had the horse, and you were like your weapon and like your sword and everything, and like I don't know, it just looks so grand, you know. And I think when you sing like we bow our knee, right, you know, and talking about his kingdom, like as you're singing that, I just see it even more, you know. Like I'm just like wow, like like you are armored
Mm.
with his, like you're like knighted, you know, by him, you know. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so grand. It's so grand.
I was just thinking in my
Yeah.
mind because, like, there's this whole globe thing at the back on the wall. You know,
Yeah.
behind
So worldwide.
yeah, and I mean, it sounds. I don't want to make it sound like superficial, but like the world is a different place right now. I mean, you know, you look back like 2 years ago, like the landscape of the world has totally changed, and you know, there's so much brokenness, there's so much pain, disease, and all that. Yeah, but I feel like even as we told our stories and we sung our songs, and wherever in the world that this may be watched, we want to speak like, you know, that peace over that nation. We want to speak God's victory over that nation. And whatever seems to be spiraling out of control, you know, I just feel in my heart that God is that knight and He will come to save us. Yeah. So wherever in the world that this is being watched or wherever you are, we just want to bless you. Like God's peace is so real. It's not a Singaporean thing. It's a worldwide thing, you know, like worldwide. Yeah. So just really want to bless you wherever you may be watching this.
Yeah. Amen. All right, so we have come to the end of our Ember Sessions. You know, we really, the whole story just came together. A whole journey. Almost like, I almost feel like we're the knights at the round table. We're just like playing songs. Yeah, songs in the spirit, you know.
This is my sword.
Yeah. You know the Kung Fu hustle, right? Then the 古筝 one.
Nice.
Yeah, so we've been on a whole journey, and every single song that you hear can be found somewhere. We have links, so maybe we're gonna just do some plugs. So maybe Krysta, you can give us for the audience, the benefit of the audience,
Yes.
how can they find you, your music, your social media?
So my address, no, just kidding. Yeah, so on Instagram you can find me at _Krysta Joy, and on Facebook I'm Krysta Joy as well. You can find my music on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and just at my house. You know, if you wanna chill, come over, let me know. I'm quite free nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a curious question about
yes.
the name Krysta. I know this should be asked at the start, but
Yes.
just wondering, like how did the name come about? Like,
I have Greek blood.
okay.
So yeah,
Wow.
I'm mixed Indian, Greek,
Okay.
and I don't even know what else. But that's just like,
Wow.
yeah.
Love it.
Initially, if I were to come out a boy, I was gonna be named Christos, which actually means anointed one, or I mean like Christ.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Wow.
I came out with
Yeah.
certain parts
Yeah.
that boys don't have, so, so it's just kind of like a modified version of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Just
So
like
Krysta,
Krysta.
that's where
And
it came
then,
from.
and then Joy?
And then Joy, when I was dedicated as a baby, a very close family friend, she dedicated me as with the name Joy, and I just thought that it's not legally in my name,
Right.
and I wanted it to be, but I feel like there's just way too much paperwork. But so when I was dedicated with that name, it just kind of all linked up, and I feel like I am quite a joyful person.
Nice,
The
nice.
anointed and joyful
Wow.
one is
I
what my name
love that.
translates to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
What
an
a
awesome
name.
combo.
What a
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can find her at all the links that she has said. We also have links in the description, so feel free to check them out. And also our songs, just like how we release it every episode, we release them every week, so you can check them out. Also links below, I guess. And we are done for our session today. We hope you have enjoyed all the songs, all the stories, all the heartfelt understanding of who God is and our identity and the Father's love. And we hope you guys would stick around for the next episode. So till then, we'll see you guys again. All right? Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.